Or you just hate it whenever you record a video, you go to upload it and you accidentally delete the wrong video. Yes, that's what happens. So I'm back again with take 2 of this here. Hopefully I'll be a bit more prepared, and after I've done my review the first time, it'll re-jog my memory of what to talk about the first time, this time. Hopefully I'll remember what I said in the last video and can say it in this video is what I'm trying to say. Straight off the bat, I want to give my YouTube shout out to the Bagging and Boarding Bad Boy. His link is down below. Make sure to go check his videos out. He has one of the coolest voices on YouTube, and I've watched some videos and his voice is just awesome. I say the Punisher 88 is the best dressed man on YouTube, come to you live, whereas he definitely has the best voice, just one of the coolest voices. So knowledgeable as well. I always look forward to his videos, as I do every Wednesday. Every Wednesday is comic book pickups for people, but I don't get, like, my comics only arrived today, so I'll get a chance to read them today and hopefully do reviews on them. Whereas, you know, a lot of people go out and get their comics, and what I'm trying to say is that on Wednesdays and Thursdays my YouTube feed is just so full of them, and I just love going through and seeing different books that people picked up. There's one book that I picked up that I don't think anyone whose reviews I watched or any pickups has not picked up. So moving forward with Flash Volume 1, move forward. See, that was a terrible segue, but anyway, I just like to say that on the back of this, from Time Out Chicago, they're quite clever, The Flash could eventually become one of the great runs of American superhero comics. Ho ho, great runs. And well, anyway, this was sent by my good friend Comic Book Geek 1, my good friend Johnny, so thank you for that. Both these books were sent to me. I didn't ask for these books, and both sent to me in random act of kindness. And this book here obviously chronicles the story of Barry Allen, who is the Flash. Basically, he has a friend, Manuel, who he hasn't seen for years, and there's like a terrible tragedy and somebody falls and dies, and he looks at him and goes, Manuel, and I'll just show you here. Now there will be spoilers, so if you don't want to see any of the art and any of these, please don't look. So we'll find where we are. Right, start, Chris, can see. Oh my goodness, I had this earlier on. Well, anyway, I'll talk while I'm flicking through the pages here. So yeah, it's quite cleverly done, the way that you see how people... There we go. So this is the current day, and these are the flashbacks. And I just love the art in this. I just love how faint this is, that he's remembering about running around with Manuel. You know, they go to like a house party, and that's how he meets Manuel. Although Barry's in his apartment on Friday night, and there's a voice that says, I knew I'd find you home on a Friday night, and it turns out it's Manuel. Barry goes running after him, kind of goes underwater, and then reappears as the Flash, and then he sees all these, which are all Manuel. Basically, he's kind of being cloned. There's a doctor, Elias, I can never say his name, who kind of says to Flash that, you know, we'll try and get you, you know, to run faster, and he breaks the treadmill. But basically he's told that if he kind of stops and thinks, he can actually see things before they happen. So there's a nice scene where he actually kind of does that. He's thinking faster, and once he thinks faster, he can see things before they actually happen. And I went like that there. That was so fast. And yeah, there's a nice couple of little things there as well. But yeah, that's like one of the flashback scenes where he says, you know, did you get an invite? No. I don't need an invite. I know you. But Manuel gets like abducted, and there's a doctor there who tries to almost clone him. There's kind of different things that go on, which I'll not really delve into because I don't want to spoil the whole crux of the storyline. But basically, as well, later on in the issues, there is the Captain Cold, which, if I can find him, he looks certainly a lot different from how he does. There he is. This isn't the Captain Cold you know. Basically, with Flash, whenever he runs faster than the speed of time, he creates different vortexes which cause things to happen. There's kind of like a ripple effect almost. And Captain Cold's sister has an operable brain tumour, and apparently it's the Flash's fault. So he kind of goes after the Flash and tries to, kill him, just to make himself feel better. There's a scene on the train where he's kind of saying to his girlfriend, his person who he's dating, Patty, says about becoming his girlfriend. But then there's a scene where there's like a boat there, and he can't save them all, Flash, and it turns out that he saves Patty, and he says, "Gotcha," but Iris, has he saved Iris or has he not saved Iris? That's for you to find out, really. And we also see at the end of this, this is obviously something that's happening in the in the TV show. Is Grodd, I don't know how to pronounce it, but yeah, big monkey dude. This is my first encounter with him. I just love all this wee art in the back here. It's really cool. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed this. I always love whenever you power through books. You're in a sitting, whenever you have to go through a couple of sittings, or I was reading Saga last night. I got tired, so just finished it. And the next one is Birthright, which was sent to me by my awesome buddy Mike Lacey. Apparently he's spreading Christmas joy throughout the year by sending me 2 books a month, which that's the kind of guy that Mike is. I really wish that Mike would be on YouTube talking about comic books, because the guy has so much knowledge. He's never steered me wrong with a book until this one. I'm only joking. This book was fantastic. Basically, we start off at the start, funnily enough, where we see a father and son playing catch. The father's name's Aaron and the son's Mikey. He throws the ball in the woods and he's on the phone with his wife, and basically starts to get a bit panicky because he's called Mikey a couple of times and he hasn't come back. And there's a scene where he's in the forest and he shouts Mikey, and it kind of goes with you kind of see the downturn in his marriage and basically his life, because he was last with them, they all think that he killed him, including his wife. We see his son Brennan, one of his other sons, at school, and he's putting up flyers, saying have you seen him, and they're saying it's been a year, give it a rest, and he just starts wailing on him, punching him and things. And he goes in to go see his dad, and there's divorce papers handed there, and basically a policeman who seems to be seeing his wife Wendy, and says that we may have found your son, we've checked out DNA tests and things like that, it's not Jeremy Kyle special, and this is what he looks like. Basically he's been taken to another world, and the time there is different from the time on Earth, so time goes by quicker. He's in a place called Tyrannos, and basically you see him as a child, and this is his almost guardian called Rook, and just the story on this is brilliant. You see down here he's basically being held in a holding cell almost, and it says here, "Are you alone? Yes, good, or excellent, sorry." And it's basically, "Do you remember your orders, fallen hero, angel of deceit and destruction, the vow you made to the god king Lore on the day of your defeat? Yes, all of Lore's enemies on earth must be destroyed so that my home can burn." So basically he's a fallen hero, and he's basically telling his family that he's anything but that, he's regaling them with all these good stories and things like that. And it's just an awesome read. I don't really want to go in it too much and spoil too much, because it's one of these books that I'd heard about but didn't know what the subject matter was. Whenever I looked at this, I didn't know whenever I was reading it what would happen. But it's just an awesome book. They're both brilliant books, but if I had to recommend one over the other, would be Birthright. I didn't know what to expect from the book, and I just really enjoyed it, and would love to pick up. Obviously, if you're a fan of Nail Biter, Joshua Williamson, he does stuff on that, is in this here as well. And obviously as well, for the Roth family, maybe at the throat, all my wrestling fans, Dusty Roth, and it's a terrible impersonation, but anyway. So yeah, if you've got money to spare and you want to pick up a trade paperback, go for Birthright. Thank you very much for this, Mike. As I said, it hasn't steered me wrong, and this is just an awesome book, so thank you for that. So yeah, now I've got some other comics to read, going to go have lunch, so that'll be up later on today or this evening. And yeah, just as always, I'm going to sneeze shortly. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, don't sneeze.